In this episode, Kiki and I are continuing our conversation on boundaries. Now, you may be thinking, what do boundaries have to do with relationships? Believe it or not, they have a whole lot of impact. So join us in this episode as we unpack boundaries in relationships.
What up, though?
What's up?
We back.
We back. I know
We
y'all
back.
enjoyed that first episode on boundaries. And like we promised you,
The B word.
the B word, we got some more coming. So what's up for today? What we talking about?
So, today we're talking about boundaries in relationships, whether it's family, friends, just relationships, connections in general. Because a lot of people don't realize that you need boundaries in relationships
You do.
among your friends, family members. Like, that is needed.
Oh yes. It's very important because, well, any interaction, you think about it, you really, let me say it. When you're interacting with people, you kind of have to know what you like, what you don't like, and boundaries help to communicate that.
Yes.
You know, and it's not even so much about what you like or don't like. It's about what you feel comfortable with as well. Because you may like French fries with salt. I may like French fries with, I don't know, something different. And you could say, I don't appreciate this or I don't want this. But let's say I put something on your food and you like, I didn't ask for that.
That's true.
And now you feel disrespected because you're like, I specifically asked, could you not do this on my food? And now the person did it.
Right.
And I think back to Chipotle. You love sour cream.
Yes,
but if
I
I get
do.
sour cream on my stuff, I'm going to feel a certain way. Because
Right.
I'm like, I specifically asked you to not put it on there.
Right.
And you did anyway.
Well, that's
Now, I can't-
disrespectful.
Yeah,
I
I
don't, is
mean-
that a boundary or is that just being simply disrespectful?
Exactly. And so,
Yeah.
right. So it's kind of like that fine line, like, yeah, you disrespected me, but at the same time, I'm also feeling like you're violating my ability, my freedom to eat my Chipotle because you put something on it and I didn't want. My freedoms have been violated.
Okay. All right.
And I got a little passionate about that way. I
It
really
seemed
don't like sour
somebody
cream.
put sour cream on your food that
They
you didn't
did,
ask them
and
to.
guacamole and all that other stuff. I don't want all that. I don't like anything.
So you
mushy
might
and-
want to get your own Chipotle next time. You might want to place your own order.
I'll be placing my own order. Yes.
Yes. So back to boundaries in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like early on, especially like in a romantic relationship, you need to let people know in advance what your boundaries are, what you like, what you don't like, because it sets the tone
How
for
do
the
you
relationship.
do that though, without pushing them off or feeling like, oh my God, they're not gonna want to be with me anymore because they're gonna think I got a whole list of boom, 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 boom,
Yes,
boom, boom, boom.
yes.
Like, how do you do that?
So I feel like as things occur, and I'm not like, I feel like some things you just got to bite the bullet because you can't be like, oh, I don't like when you do that. Like every single thing you
Yeah,
don't like.
not
Like
everything.
sometimes you really got to deal with your own issues first.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
I feel like before you get into a relationship, you need to know yourself. You need to know and especially if you a person that's been through trauma or issues, because it comes up in your relationship. Like if you're touched the wrong way, if somebody look at you the wrong way, or even going back to time, if someone's like late, it may be a trigger for you because someone may have been like your dad may have been late picking you up, and it just reminds you of something that occurred. So.
Yeah.
You got to deal with your issues first. And you can't like put a boundary on every single thing, like every single situation, every single issue. And it all goes back to getting healed.
That's true. But then here's the other thing. I remember when we were chatting with our most beloved of Hustle, we were talking about how in relationships, sometimes it also can help to facilitate healing too. So it's kind of like,
Yes.
at what point do I say, I'm healed, I'm ready? But then it's like you get in a relationship, ooh.
Then that stuff come
I
right back
still
up. Like,
need some
yep,
more stuff
that's-
going on. So it's I feel like it's an evolving, like it's just a process.
It's an
of
ongoing
healing.
thing.
Yeah,
Yep, it's an
yeah.
ongoing thing.
But I think I love that you stated it though, because just to highlight the importance of knowing yourself.
Yes.
Like
yes.
you just can't not know yourself and think I'm gonna just date somebody because they cute.
Right.
Like that's
right.
not
Right.
And just knowing the purpose of relationships, well, that's a whole nother conversation, but knowing the purpose and the intent behind which God desires us to have relationships. He created us for a relationship with
Yes,
him.
with him. Yes.
You know, so
yes.
it's like we are to operate in community with each other. No one's an island unto themselves. Even those that are introverted, believe it or not, I am. I can curl up and read a book, but I love people. I
Right.
love
Right.
people. But I know that after a long day with people, I gotta go bye-bye.
You
That's
gotta
my
go
boundary.
You gotta go replenish.
And my dad and my sister is the exact opposite. It's so interesting because they'll hang out with people and they're like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do that. If they're in the house too long by themselves, they're like, I gotta go see somebody, I gotta go do something, I gotta interact.
I could be that way. Like I thrive off of being around people.
Yeah,
you know.
I can tell you're extroverted too. Like you're quiet, but you love people and you love that. And I'm like, I'm loud and out there, and I'm like. So it has nothing to do with how people talk or how much they talk or their level of energy and excitement. It's what do they prefer?
Right.
You know, as far as whether they, people person, not people, you know, if that makes sense.
Yes. And so I was thinking about the topic. I'm like, when did boundaries, like in relationships, when was it first violated? And my mind went to the garden.
Yeah.
Like God put boundaries in place. And although we know he's a limitless God, he's a God, he's so big, he's so vast that, we have free access to him. Like God he has boundaries concerning what he wants us to do and what he don't want us to do. But when it comes to relationship with him, you can't really violate a God because he's God. Like he's like,
Yeah, so, she's like, yeah, now.
he's huge. But I feel like that violation of boundaries came in when God specifically said, Lil Adam, Big Eve, sis, I'm in need for you not to partake of the tree. Mm-hmm. And they violated God's boundary. Like that was you had one job, sis and bro.
Sis.
Y'all had one job. And you just had to partake. You had to violate the boundaries. So I feel like there was a ripple effect. And now we're dealing with boundaries.
Wow.
Now
I'm sorry.
Yeah. You just overstepped my boundaries.
I did.
You just cut me off. I don't like it.
I caught myself.
I don't like it. Anyway, I forgive you. But
we
have we have such a loving God, and that's important too. Forgiveness, like when someone oversteps your boundary, and especially if you made them aware of, I don't like when you do da da da, and you may accidentally do it. Like some people do it on purpose because they don't have no respect for you. Mm-hmm. But then there's others who accidentally like, oops, I'm sorry. I apologize. So forgiveness is key, and recognizing that, knowing the heart of the person, like, okay, they didn't mean to overstep my boundary. I know I clearly told them that I don't like when you do X, Y, Z, so I forgive you, and we're going to move forward. Because some people stay stuck in their violation.
That's so good, because then that turns into resentment, bitterness, and when you get to a place of bitterness, that's just like a rotten apple. It's just like a rotten fruit, and that fruit don't usually recover. That rotten
that
spot,
thing got to be thrown in the trash.
So we got to throw that whole situation in the trash. It's like no, but forgiveness really does help to redeem situations that otherwise may have been broken or seem like it's hopeless. So forgiveness is really like a healing balm for you and the other person, because trust me, they done moved on. They ain't worried about it. Mm-hmm. They are not worried about it. They're like, oh, my bad, and then keeping it moving. And you stuck like, but she stepped on my foot though. She messed up my shoes though. Man,
no, don't mess up the shoes.
I know. That's a touchy one. Yeah. Kiki got on some nice,
no scuff marks,
white shoes, y'all. I wish y'all could see it, but
I can walk around heaven in these. Not that I want to go to heaven. Jeez, don't take me yet.
Right.
We got some shows to record.
We got some more shows,
but
Lord.
I can walk to them pearly gates in these shoes, and I would lift my foot up, but the way my little kneecaps is set up, I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm a little.
I've never seen you jump.
I'm in my 30s, so my early 30s. You know how your body starts crack-a-lacking and stuff. So. More importantly,
she has knee boundaries.
Yes, I do. These knees ain't loyal.
Oh my goodness, I cannot. And here I am pushing on 40's door in a few, and
you knocking.
I cannot. I can't.
Is that you, sis?
But knocking? I can jump though. My knees ain't give out yet. But I thank the Lord that when I get ready to jump,
Glory.
The knees
jump for Jesus.
The knees do what they supposed to do.
Amen.
But in relationships, I'll communicate, hey, babe, my knees ain't doing what they supposed to do. I can't jump.
Okay.
I know that came off really not appropriate.
I don't know. I was like, I don't know where you're going. I don't know where you're going.
I'm trying to bring it back to say, like, in a relationship.
Thank you for that.
When you dated, like, if you got knee problems, you got to tell them. But I didn't like how they came off. I really didn't mean it to come off that way.
Because the saints judgmental.
The saints,
got to clear that up. Now, if you were married, It's a little story.
I know, but I'm not trying to refer to that at all. I'm just trying to
I mean,
that's not what I meant.
It kind of went there. Like,
I was just saying, because you said your knees give out. So I was saying in a relationship, like, okay, babe, my arm hurts. Like, I think it was somebody who, no,
you said your knees just then.
I know, because you were talking about
that means
knees.
other things.
It does not, but that's not how
now,
I
in the
meant
merge world, it shouldn't be judgment because it says
I just want to
undefiled.
talk about something else.
But I mean, you open the door.
I know, but my boundaries being invaded because I don't want to talk.
You
about
invaded
this.
your own boundaries. You invaded your own boundaries, but I'll let it go. I'll let it pass. Okay, let's go. So in relationships,
no. So I know somebody who is very ticklish on their feet. See, this is what I was trying to say.
Okay.
So he was trying to tell the girl, like, don't tickle my feet. But she didn't understand. And she thought he was playing. So I don't know what happened. And she did it. And he kicked her. And she didn't mean to. But she went flying across the floor. Jesus. So that's more so what and she actually had to get her teeth removed.
She got kicked.
Yeah, she got kicked. He was trying to tell her, I do not like being tickled because I'm extremely ticklish. Yeah. So that's more so what I meant when I was just like, knees on. I was just trying to kind of connect the two to be like, hey, I got knee problems. I can't run. Or if the guy's like, let's go hiking. And you're like, I don't want to go because my knees hurt or whatever. Like, or my foot's ticklish or my arms, like communicating if they're physical ailments or things. It doesn't always have to be internal or it could be physical.
Something physical. Yeah,
exactly. I don't like when you hug me this way or I don't like when you roll your hands through my hair or, you know, or it just whatever it is. That's more so what I meant.
There's so much to it. And it's, you know, people get so upset. First off, people can be afraid to set boundaries. I know a lot of relationships don't have any boundaries at all. And things
that's dangerous.
Yeah. Yes. And I know things come up as you go, you know, as you progress, as you grow together. But it need to be said, and people shouldn't get offended if I don't like when you do da da da. Like for me, I don't really like when people come up behind me. Because it feels weird. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I've been robbed before or anything. God knows I don't ever want to be robbed. Right. But it's just something that makes me feel uncomfortable if someone's standing behind me. And this is one. And this probably should be saved for another topic on boundaries, but it came to my mind. This is a violation to me. Like, I will probably melt into water.
And you want to say this to everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a violation. If you take a piece of paper that I gotta touch, and you know how people be licking the paper to turn the page. That is you like. I feel like you like I'm spit cringing. On me. Like, do not ever take your finger, brothers and sisters, and put your DNA on the corner of a page to turn it. Like, it just really does something. Like, I feel like that is a violation. I'm throwing a paper away. I don't care if it has to be retyped. I don't want no parts of it. It's nasty.
Okay, wow.
That's the workplace.
Okay, wow. So how about in this situation, because you don't like it, they may like it.
They love it.
Them keep
some
the
days.
paper.
There's some days that love it. That do it a lot.
You can ask them, hey, photocopy that sheet of paper so I can just.
I feel like then the photocopy's violated too, because you're putting it on there and then just getting your spit.
I can't. I never knew this about you.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't like it either, but
I feel like people chewing loud. Like, or eating with your mouth full.
So when does it become a boundary evasion for you? Because they may say, I enjoy, trust me, I don't like this either. But when does it become an issue of your boundary evasion versus their ability to exercise their freedom? How do we differentiate between the two?
I feel like, and I know that in other cultures, people smack because that means the food is good. Like, that's a compliment to the chef. But when you smack, it sounds like something gnawing on wood. Like, it sounds like a woodpecker, and it makes me lose my appetite. So if I know, Nicole, that you smack when you're eating mozzarella sticks, then I'm not gonna eat with you.
Really?
Yeah, we can do everything else, but I'm gonna chew. I'm like, you be like, oh, you want to go out to eat? I'm like, nah, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna pass. You know, I don't know if I may offend you if I say you smack when you eat. And I mean, I can say it as nice as possible, but it's still the reality of you're doing something that I don't like.
I personally would laugh because for me, I'd be like, dang, she is right. If that were true.
Like, why gotta be sounds when you eat? Like, why I don't like.
That's how I am with people on the phone.
Clinking with your bowl.
Yeah, I don't like those weird noises either.
Yeah, it does stuff to me. So if I'm on a date. And I'm not saying, oh, I don't want you because you smack.
Relationship.
But it's gonna burn me on the inside.
It's gonna burn you.
Yes.
So you go home and be like,
yes.
Whew.
Yeah.
I just want to choke him.
And I can thank my coworker for that. And she brought it out for me. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my dad used to smack when he eat, and he chose. Him and his mom were just alike. They choose to eat alone because they know that they like to smack and slurp. And if you smack and
Not the
slurp, yeah, like if it's chicken, you know, it's a whole orchestra in the kitchen.
Oh no!
And they choose to eat by themselves. Like, you know, we've had family dinners with my dad, but he knows, he'd be like, nah, you know, y'all go ahead and eat. Daddy gonna eat later. Because Daddy know that he about to go in on them neck bones and stuff, and he know we don't want to hear it. So,
No.
you know, he kind of prepared me for that, and I pray, you know, whatever husband God blesses me with, please, God, don't let him smack. I'm going to still love him, but
I'm still love him, but
we're going to eat separate. We're going to eat separate. So if we're on a date,
oh my goodness,
and somebody is doing something to overstep your boundaries, like, how do you articulate that? Like, I can't just be like, he's sitting right here, I'm sitting right here. I'm legit going to be like, check, please. Or I'm going to, like, look at my phone like, oh, I got to go, you know, because it just, like,
that
does
really
something
bothers
to
you.
me.
So I will say this. I'm big with preparation and kind of getting ahead of things before they happen. So if there are those, like, deal breakers, in a sense, kind of lightheartedly saying it. Like, you know, when you meet somebody and you had a conversation like, man, what are some of your quirks? Or, hey, let's just laugh and joke. Man, let me tell you, these are the things that drive me nuts. So it's almost like lighthearted so they don't know you're targeting them.
Right.
But it's still kind of like, man, I hate when people do this. Man, my mother made me some broccoli yesterday. I hate broccoli. You know, so they don't feel offended.
But they bring up that broccoli.
But they know.
You know what? You've been violating me this whole time.
Through conversation?
Through your words. Because you always, like, you know what broccoli does to me.
It does.
You know broccoli does things.
Talk about broccoli.
Broccoli is disrespectful. It violates me by being on the earth. Yes.
By being on the earth. Now,
so
that's
you violated me. You need to apologize.
I apologize for talking about something that I enjoy that I will continue to talk about.
Okay. Just don't eat it around me. Don't bring it around me. Thank you. I don't trust you though. I feel like you're gonna sneak it somewhere.
You think I'm gonna just sneak it on the show? Pull it out from under the.
Like it.
Pull it out from
I'm a no though because I'm a discern that is near.
Seriously.
Yes.
What if I had a piece of broccoli like right there?
I wouldn't tell you. I'll just let it be there.
And you would just look
because
at
that's what broccoli does to people. Broccoli be in your tea, and you don't know you be cheesing like, and it's right there. I wouldn't tell.
You really?
I'll just let you.
You know what?
I'll let you cheese with broccoli tea.
Why she do this broccoli tea?
Yes.
And it be right there in the middle, like
just be there. See, broccoli is rude. Like, how do you just strategically be in the center of your? Like, you can be in the back caught up somewhere, but why broccoli is always in the front? Like.
Them little florets be
and you don't even eat broccoli from the front. Like, you don't eat it with the front of your teeth. It goes here, but mysteriously it travels forward because it does things to me. So I've studied it. I've studied why I don't like broccoli.
Well, at least you educated on the reason.
I'm educated.
You have educated ignorance.
Broccolology.
I'll say that.
Yes.
Is that in the book of Keishanary?
Yes.
Y'all, she's still on that Keishanary stuff. I'm telling
you.
Get yours. You know what? We're going to make some sales off of this. But I do want to honestly say, in relationships, to answer your question, when there are things that are just pertinent and you know, I do not like this, there's a way to introduce it before it becomes an issue of, oh my God, now he does this, and so now I have to tell him.
Right.
So if it's kind of brought up in a way where, you know, some people can just choose to be offended, but then you don't know that he does it, and he don't know that you don't like it.
Me.
So before that is even stated, or before the situation occurs, it's like, let's get this out in the open, but in a way that's like, you know, like when I go places, I tell people like, look, they be like, oh, you want to ride together? I'm like, look, y'all, I'm a little funny when it comes to ride with people because I can get kind of motion sickness a little bit, and I don't want to be like, slow down and roll the window down and roll. I can get really.
Thanks for I didn't know that.
Yeah, but you're an excellent driver, by the way. So when I rode with you, I didn't feel any kind of way. But some people are like, I be like, and I just can't. Or when I'm sitting up high, I'm okay. But if I'm in the back seat, I start to feel kind of, you know. So a lot of people don't know that. And so to avoid that and making them uncomfortable, I'll say, I'll drive. And they're like, no, we're going to the same place. I'm like, I'll drive. I'll follow you.
If you don't want no mess back in this back seat.
So sometimes I do that, or I'll say like, you know, I just personally like to be in my own vehicle because if I'm ready to go, I don't want to be stuck in a place where I'm uncomfortable.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
That's more so the thing. Even if I gotta spend more gas just to get there, we go in the same place. That is fine with me. I just need to be in a place where I can leave because I know my boundaries.
Yes.
And it goes back to communication. Sometimes you don't always have to say it. You can just remove yourself.
Yes, I agree.
Especially if it's not something that's repetitive.
Right. An explanation is not always warranted.
Exactly.
Let your no can just be no. You don't have to explain. It's just like no.
Or your no could be you walking away. Hey guys, see y'all later.
Right. You don't need to explain. I'm with that. And I feel like in relationships, ultimately, you teach people how to treat you.
That's so good.
Like you start off, you set the standard for one another. I'm not saying it's all about that one particular person.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to accept people for who they are.
That's
like
true.
if it's something that's like detrimental or something like that, then of course then you need to get your walking papers.
Absolutely.
Roll out. But if it's something minor, like,
we're talking to dating couples, by the way. We're not saying if you married, just walk out because he chews food.
Oh yeah.
We're not
nothing petty. Those were jokes, you know. And I guess what's petty to me may not be petty.
Exactly.
And
you have a right to want what you want and like if what you like. Because if somebody I'm dating and I say, oh man, well, let me try to flip the script. I know a guy that loves girls that have like long hair. What if she just cut her hair off bald? And he's like has a big thing about it because he's like, I love long hair, and I told you, and now you cut it off. Right. And I used to tease with somebody and say, what if you was getting married to this girl and on the wedding day she roll up in her wedding dress and she's bald?
Wow.
What would you do? He was like, well, I would feel so offended because I made it clear to her that I love long hair and I don't like short hair. And he said he would feel a certain way. And I'm like, so you would just walk away from the altar? Or he was like, I'm going to tell her to turn around, but throw that wig on. I was like, wow.
Wow.
But he said he would feel a certain way because he would feel attacked.
I can understand. Like, if he's already articulated that, then why would you do that? You know what I mean?
Right. So you could argue that too. Yeah. So it's kind of like a woman's her whole hair, but it's like, what's your motives? Are you trying to really make them mad?
Right.
Or so it is. Right. Boundaries is kind of a sticky thing, and I really think that we should continue to unpack it, but we ain't giving you everything tonight. We just going to continue.
Unpack.
Yeah. Unpack.
What is an unpack? Like, it makes me think of luggage. Like, I'm taking out my shirts and socks from a trip.
More stuff. And we'll continue to talk to you guys about this throughout the week. We'll continue to ask questions to get your feedback. We want to know, what are boundaries like for you in your relationships with your parents, with your family, dating relationships, romantic relationships? What's the situationships? And I want to know, what's the craziest situation you've been in? I think I'm going to ask that this week. The craziest situation you've been in where you've had to
set a boundary.
Yeah. And it's like them weird ones, like the common sense ones, like, when you cough, cover your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, aren't you taught that? Well, I don't know. This is a new age, but you should have been taught.
Listen,
especially these days and times we living in. And washing your hands. Like,
thank you.
Oh my God. Oh my. Okay.
Woo.
So
I can't talk about that because my nerves are getting. I got goosebumps. I can't. Don't touch my food. And you've been no. Okay. Yeah. I can't. I'm gonna step off the show for a second.
Okay.
I'm getting
to get yourself OCD kicking in.
Don't put my stuff out.
I understand. Okay. All right. We're going to pray for you.
She just
but no, wash your hands, guys. Ooh, wash your hands. 30 seconds. Yeah. So,
you're going to have to.
Boundaries.
Yeah, because I can't. My nerves are kind of rattled. You didn't say something that really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to get you some prayer.
We are.
After we go on backstage.
That's how you feel about broccoli. Yeah.
There you go, bringing up broccoli. There you go again.
I just want you to understand how I felt.
I understood. I had a moment of silence.
Why she fussing? Moment of silence. Why she fussing at me, y'all?
Because you keep bringing up broccoli. You keep overstepping my boundaries.
I was telling you. I just wanted you to be able to empathize with me.
I empathize completely. Completely. And utterly.
Utterly. What's an utter?
It's a ut.
I can't do this. Thank y'all. I'm sorry, but I can't. Thank y'all. We're gonna have to talk later.
We gotta go.
It's over now. We gotta go. My boundaries invaded. So
Thank
go
y'all.
love on your husbands and love on your wives,
your family
and
members,
family
your
members.
friends.
Make sure you enforce your boundaries. We're gonna keep talking later. But right now, I can't deal with this ut.
I don't know where that came from.
What? Like, see y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Set those boundaries. Be safe. Thank you for tuning in. Truth Talks TV.
Truth Talks TV.